Do you ever feel like this? You can watch English movies, you can understand your favorite YouTubers perfectly, but the moment it's your turn to speak, your mind just goes completely blank.
Ava, that is 100% my problem. It's so frustrating. I feel like I have all these English words and grammar rules stored in my head, but I just can't get them out. It feels like my mouth and my brain are not connected.
You are not alone, and I have some great news for you. It is not a memory problem, and you're not bad at English. It is a muscle problem. And in this video, we're going to show you a simple, powerful system to train your speaking muscle. We will help you improve your English speaking skills so you can finally start to speak English fluently and with so much more confidence. And we have a very clear roadmap for you today. First, we're going to explain the real reason why you understand English but can't speak. I promise it's going to be a light bulb moment for you. Then, I'll teach you 3 simple, practical techniques you can start using today, all by yourself, to activate the English you already know. And finally, we'll show you how to overcome the fear of making mistakes and sound more natural when you speak.
So, by the end of this video, we will have an actual action plan to break through that speaking barrier.
Exactly, a clear plan. So, grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's get started. All right, Ben, let's start at the beginning. Let's talk more about that feeling of frustration. Describe that moment to me. Someone asks you a simple question, like, "How was your weekend?" and your mind goes blank. What is happening in your head?
It is a little embarrassing, but it is like a traffic jam in my brain. I hear the question, I understand it perfectly. Then I start thinking of the answer in my native language. Oh, my weekend was good. I went to the park with my family. It is a simple sentence, but then I start translating, word by word. I go park. Wait, is it go or went? With my family or family with me? And while I'm doing all this translation and checking my grammar, I hesitate when speaking. The other person is just waiting and the moment is gone. It feels awful.
Thank you for sharing that, Ben. I think thousands, maybe millions of people watching right now are nodding their heads because they have felt that exact same brain traffic jam. And this is the perfect place to introduce our first big idea. That brain traffic jam you described happens for a very specific reason. And this is the core idea I want everyone to understand. In your brain, you don't just have one vocabulary, you actually have 2. Think of them as 2 different libraries.
2 libraries. Okay, I'm listening.
Your first library is your passive vocabulary. This library is huge. It contains all the words you can recognize when you read or listen. When you watch a movie, you can understand the story because your passive vocabulary is very large.
Right, I can definitely recognize thousands of words.
Exactly. But then there is your second library, your active vocabulary. This library is much, much smaller. It contains the words you can actually use spontaneously without thinking or translating. The problem isn't that you don't know enough English. The problem is that most of your words are stuck in the big passive library. The goal is to move them to the small active bookshelf.
Wow, that makes so much sense. So when I understand but can't speak, it is because the word I need is in my big passive library, but I can't find it quickly enough to use it. My active bookshelf is almost empty.
You've got it. And you build your active vocabulary not by learning more words, but by using the words you already know. This requires a small but powerful mindset shift. For years, you have been an excellent consumer of English. You listen to podcasts, you read articles, you watch videos, you consume. This is how you built your giant passive library. But to improve your speaking skills, you need to become a producer.
A producer? What do you mean by that? Like, I need to make a movie.
Not quite. A producer is someone who creates with the language. They speak, they write, they express their own ideas. Every time you try to form a sentence, you are acting as a producer. The reason you hesitate when speaking is because your consumer muscles are very strong, but your producer muscles are weak.
Okay, I see. So I need to start exercising my producer muscles, but how do I do that? It sounds hard, and I don't have anyone to talk to all the time.
That is the most common question, and I have a beautiful, simple answer. You can start producing English for hours every single day without a partner. And it starts with our very first technique, the inner monologue. The first technique is all about learning how to think in English. This directly attacks the problem of translating in your head. The inner monologue is simply the voice inside your head. Right now, your inner monologue is probably in your native language. Our goal is to slowly, gently switch it to English.
You want me to think in English all day? That sounds exhausting. My brain would probably explode.
We start small. You don't need to think about philosophy or politics. You start with the simple things you see and do. The goal is not perfection. It is practice. It is about building a new habit. For example, instead of thinking, I need to drink some water in your native language, you just build the habit of thinking that thought in English.
But what if I'm thinking about something and I don't know the English word? That happens all the time.
A brilliant question. 2 options. Option 1, you describe it. If you don't know the word stapler, you can think, oh, that is the thing you use to put papers together. Option 2, you make a quick note on your phone. What is the word for that paper thing? Then you look it up later. The important thing is to not let one missing word stop the entire process. Just keep the thoughts flowing. Let us try a very simple English speaking practice right now. Don't say anything out loud yet. Just look at the table in front of you and for the next 10 seconds, use your inner monologue to describe what you see in English. Go! Okay, now tell me out loud. What were some of the English sentences in your head?
It was pretty simple. I thought, this is a wooden table. I see 2 white cups. My phone is next to the cup. The screen is black.
Perfect, Ben. Did you translate those sentences from your native language?
No, I just looked at the phone and the thought my phone is next to the cup just appeared.
And that is the magic. You have just taken your first step to stop translating and start thinking directly in English. This is how you begin to activate your vocabulary. You can do this anywhere, anytime, in the car, on the bus, walking down the street. It's your own private English practice. Okay, so once you are comfortable with that quiet inner monologue, you are ready for technique number 2, which is just taking that inner voice and making it external. We call it Narrate Your World. This is an incredibly powerful form of daily English conversation practice, but you do it completely alone.
So you want me to talk to myself out loud? I might get some strange looks from my family or roommates.
Yes, it might feel a little strange at first, but this is one of the most effective ways to improve your English speaking skills. When you're at home, maybe cooking dinner or cleaning your room, you simply describe what you are doing out loud as if you're the star of your own cooking show.
Like a documentary about my own life?
Exactly, because speaking is a physical skill. Your tongue, your lips, your jaw, they are muscles. Thinking in English is great for your brain, but you have to physically practice making the sounds and forming the sentences. This technique connects your brain's thoughts to your mouth's actions. It builds that crucial muscle memory. Let's try a mini scenario. Let's imagine a very common daily routine, making your morning coffee. Ben, I want you to narrate that process for me. Just simple, present tense sentences. I'll be your supportive audience.
Okay, so I am walking to the kitchen. Now, I am opening the cupboard. I am taking out my favorite mug. It is the blue one. I need coffee.
Great start. Keep going. What is next?
I am getting the coffee grounds from the fridge. I put a spoon of coffee in the machine. No, a scoop. I am putting a scoop of coffee into the filter. Now, I pour some water in. I press the button. Now I am waiting for the coffee.
Fantastic, Ben. See, you just had a 30-second conversation in English. You described your actions. You self-corrected from spoon to scoop, which is an incredibly advanced skill, by the way. And you built a bridge between thinking and speaking. That is a perfect example of how to practice speaking English alone. And for everyone watching, we have a question for you. Think about your daily routine. What is one simple action you do every day that you could narrate in English? It could be brushing your teeth, feeding your pet or getting dressed.
Ooh, that is a good one. Like, I am putting on my socks. The left sock first, then the right sock.
Exactly that simple. Please pause the video for a moment and leave a comment below sharing just one routine you can narrate. Reading your ideas will inspire everyone in this community. We'd love to see what you come up with. All right, we have our 2 core practice methods, thinking in English and narrating your world. Those are for activating your vocabulary and grammar. But what about fluency, rhythm, and pronunciation? That brings us to technique number 3, the English shadowing technique.
I've heard of this one, but I've always been a little confused. What is shadowing exactly? Do I just repeat everything I hear?
That is the basic idea, but it is more than just repeating. Shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and you speak along with them at almost the same time. You are their shadow. You're not just copying the words, you're trying to copy their music, their intonation, their stress, their pauses.
So it is less about understanding the meaning and more about feeling the rhythm of the language.
You Vev hit on the key point. This exercise disconnects the thinking part of your brain and focuses entirely on the physical act of speaking. It helps you speak English naturally by training your mouth to move in an English way. It is like learning a dance. First, you copy the instructor's movements, and eventually you can dance on your own. For this, I recommend finding a short audio clip, maybe 15 to 30 seconds, from a podcast or a TED Talk where the speaker is clear and not too fast. Let's try a quick demonstration of the English shadowing technique. I have a very short audio clip here. It is just 5 seconds long. The sentence is, I think the most important thing is to just get started. First, I'll play it for you. Now, I'm going to play it again and shadow it. Listen closely to how I try to match the speaker's rhythm and tone.
Wow! You sounded exactly like the recording. The melody of your voice was the same.
That is the goal. Now it is your turn, Ben. No pressure at all. Just try to catch the wave of the sound. I'll play it for you.
I think the most important thing is to get started.
That was an excellent first try. That is exactly how everyone starts. The coordination feels a bit clumsy, right?
Yeah, my tongue felt a bit twisted and I missed the little ups and downs in the voice. It is harder than it sounds.
It is. But doing this for just 5 minutes a day with the same short audio clip over and over will do wonders for your fluency. You're training your mouth to produce English sounds without thinking about grammar. This is a pure physical workout to help you speak English naturally. Okay, Ben, we've talked about 3 powerful techniques, thinking, narrating, and shadowing. But I know there is a big elephant in the room we need to talk about. The real reason many people don't practice. What do you think that is?
For me, it is the fear of making a mistake. I feel like if I say something wrong, people will judge me or laugh at me or think I'm not smart. It is a huge English speaking block.
Thank you for being so honest about that. This fear is the #1 reason learners get stuck. So I want to tell you and everyone watching something very important: mistakes are not your enemy. Mistakes are your teacher.
I've heard that before, but it is hard to believe it in the moment.
Let me rephrase it. Every time you make a mistake and someone corrects you, or you correct yourself, you have just received a free, personalized English lesson. Your brain will remember that correction much more strongly than if you just read it in a textbook. You have to give yourself permission to be imperfect. Fluency is not about being understood. Your goal is connection, not perfection. Let's look at a very common mistake that comes from this fear. When learners are afraid, they often rely too much on translating directly from their native language. For example, Ben, imagine you are talking to me and you don't know the English word for keyboard. How might you ask me?
How to say the thing we type on.
How to say. This is a perfect example of a direct translation mistake that millions of learners make. It is not grammatically correct in English, but it is a direct translation of the question structure in many other languages.
Right? That is exactly what I would say. So what is the more natural way?
A native speaker would phrase that question differently. You could say, how do you say that in English? Or even more naturally, what is the word for the thing we type on? Or simply, what do you call this?
How do you say, what is the word for? What do you call? Okay, those sound much better. I need to practice those phrases.
Exactly, and you only learned that because you made the mistake first. See, the mistake was your teacher. Here is another advanced tip to help you overcome that fear and sound more natural, even when you're feeling stuck. Native speakers don't have perfect flowing speech all the time. We pause, we hesitate, we think. The difference is we use fluent pauses.
Fluent pauses, you mean like filler words?
Precisely, instead of a silent, awkward pause or a nervous you can use simple, natural-sounding phrases to give your brain a few extra seconds to find the word you need. This is a key part of learning how to speak English fluently, because it makes your speech smoother even when you're searching for words.
Okay, give me some examples. What are these magic phrases?
Some of the most common ones are very simple. For example, well, let me see, or that is a good question. Imagine someone asks you about your favorite movie. Instead of freezing, you can start with, well, let me see. I think my favorite movie would have to be That Little Phrase Buys You 2 to 3 Seconds. But it sounds completely natural. It shows you are thinking, not that you are stuck. These little filler words are like bridges that help you get from one thought to the next. They are a huge secret to building speaking confidence. And that leads us to our next question for you, our amazing community. Ben just shared that his biggest fear is making a mistake and being judged. We want to know about you.
Yeah, what is your biggest fear when it comes to speaking English? Is it your accent? Is it forgetting vocabulary? Is it speaking too slowly?
Please be honest and share it in the comments below. It is so powerful to see that we all share the same fears. It reminds us that we're all in this together. All right, we have covered so much today. Let's take a deep breath and quickly review the core ideas. We started by identifying the main reason why you understand English but can't speak, the gap between your huge passive vocabulary and your small active vocabulary.
The two libraries, I'll never forget that analogy. My goal is to move books from the big, dusty library to my small, active bookshelf.
Exactly, and we gave you 3 powerful techniques to do that. The first was
the inner monologue, learning how to think in English by describing the world inside your head.
perfect. The second,
Narrate your world, speaking your actions out loud to build the physical muscle memory of speaking.
and the third,
The English shadowing technique, copying a native speaker's rhythm and melody to improve flow and pronunciation.
think, narrate, shadow. That is your 3-step system to activate the English you already know. And now, it is time to put it all together in a final challenge, Ben. Are you ready?
I think so. Let's do it.
Okay, I want you to imagine we are new colleagues at work, meeting for the first time in the break room. I am going to say hello, and I want you to introduce yourself and tell me about one of your favorite hobbies. Try to speak for about 30 seconds. And remember, if you need a moment to think, use one of our fluent pauses. Ready?
Ready.
Hey, I don't think we've met yet. I'm Ava from the marketing team.
Hi, Ava. It is nice to meet you. I'm Ben. I work in the design department. I just started last week, so I'm still trying to learn everyone's name.
Oh, welcome to the team. So, what do you like to do outside of work?
That is a good question. Well, let me see. I'm really into photography. On the weekends, I love to go hiking and take pictures of nature. I find it very relaxing, just being outdoors with my camera.
Ben, that was absolutely brilliant. Do you see what you did there? Your introduction was clear and direct. And when I asked you about your hobby, you used, well, let me see. And you know perfectly. It sounded so natural, so confident. How did that feel?
It felt so much better. Using that little phrase gave me the space I needed to think about the word photography. I didn't panic. I just paused and then the word came to me.
And that is the feeling of progress we want for every single one of you. It is not about a huge vocabulary. It is about confidently using the vocabulary you have. We hope this lesson has given you not just techniques, but a new sense of hope. The feeling that you understand but can't speak is just a temporary stage. You are not stuck. You just need the right tools to build that bridge between your mind and your mouth.
And remember, the goal is connection, not perfection. Be kind to yourself, be patient, and try to have a little fun with it.
Thank you so much for joining us today and for being such an active part of our learning community. Now, before you go, we have one final piece of homework for you. This is your first step in becoming an English producer. Your assignment is this. Sometime today, choose one simple activity. It could be washing the dishes, making your bed, or walking your dog. For just 2 minutes, narrate that activity out loud in English.
Just 2 minutes. Everyone has 2 minutes.
And after you do it, we want you to come back to this video and check in by leaving a comment with just one sentence you use during your narration. It could be as simple as, I am folding my favorite shirt, or my dog is running very fast.
Sharing your sentence is a way of saying, I did my homework. I'm taking action. It is a great way to stay accountable.
Exactly. And if you found this video helpful and you're ready to finally break through your speaking plateau and build real confidence, make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We create deep dive lessons like this every single week designed to give you the practical tools you need to succeed.
Keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next video.